Christmas Bureau of Austin Travis County is now under the control of the Texas Attorney General's office. The AG filed a motion today to seize the assets of the Christmas Bureau, citing deception, fraud, gross mismanagement, negligence, and conspiracy against 4 people involved in that charity. KXAN lead investigator Chris Willis was in the courtroom today. He joins us live tonight with more on this case. Chris?
Shannon, good evening. At the center of the Christmas Bureau debacle is the President Shawn Washington. He's under a criminal investigation by Austin police and now is at the heart of the Attorney General's motion, filed today to seize the assets of the charity as they look at where the charity's money has gone. The AG's motion today lists 4 defendants: President Shawn Washington and his wife Michelle, a director of the nonprofit. It also lists the former president, Cliff Bowman, and the former director, Cynthia Colpart. The state claims the defendants breached their statutory fiduciary duties and their charitable trust fiduciary duties. To put that in layman's terms, they're accused of soliciting tens of thousands of dollars to help needy kids and spending the money on themselves. Historically, the Christmas Bureau starts with about $80,000 for the upcoming holiday season. That money is reportedly gone. And the motion today listed $26,000 in the past 3 months that have come through the PayPal account. That balance is now $210. We told you last week that Shawn Washington was convicted in August of methamphetamine charges, busted at a local strip club. His prior convictions of theft date back to the early 90s. His last known address in Bastrop is now ransacked, and it appears when we went there that Washington left in a hurry. A neighbor there told us he suspected drug activity at the home. The AG's office believes Washington is now in Killeen, but nobody can seem to find him. Judge Guy Herman today ordered Washington, his wife, and the other defendants to answer the charges within the next 5 days. The Attorney General's office will look at every dollar spent by the charity while that separate criminal investigation takes place by APD.
We want to do a full analysis and accounting of what has happened previously here in the last couple of weeks and what's happened in the last couple of years. The sad thing about this is the Christmas Bureau has a long history in Central Texas. They've helped thousands of families through the holidays. At some point that went wrong. We need to find out when that went wrong and hold those accountable.
Certainly background checks are something that any business or nonprofit should be doing on any of the people that they're putting into a fiduciary capacity.
And that, a simple background check or a lack of one, is at the heart of this case. It could be argued that Shawn Washington is the poster child for someone who should not handle other people's money. Our background check on him found multiple felony convictions for theft, burglary, credit card abuse, and forgery. And of course, last week we uncovered his meth conviction at that strip club, to which he pled guilty and spent 30 days in jail in August. We'll have more on this coming up at 10. For now, in the studio, Chris Willis, KXAN News.